G'day, Aussie Bonsai bloke. How you going? G'day, guys. Well, today we got, I think it was a gecko. Today we got ourselves, I suppose, a bit of a thank you and a show and tell. So before we get into this boxthorn, we're going to trim it, dewire it, and get it ready for its new growth, because it's putting on a lot of growth right now. I just want to say big shout out to Dave and Vicky, who I went to their place during this week, and Dave was really generous, saw that I was running out of some pots, and he lined me up with some more pots. So bloody legend, Dave, bloody legend. He even gave me a couple of beers, so geez, can't expect much more than that. So yeah, so basically a few bigger ones for myself to keep, and then some smaller ones that I might put some trees in to sell at the show coming up on the 11th and 12th of October. So there's some small ones. Here's a really nice one. This one's got some really good character. Probably be keeping that one. Nice character. Blue one. Probably good for a deciduous or something. Just a brown oval in here. Then a, just your Chinese pot with a bit of painting on the front. Still pretty cool. Just a black one. A shallow cream one. So that's a really nice pot. If you put a tree in a shallow pot, make sure that it likes to be wet, because it takes longer for a shallow pot to drain. It's kind of weird thing to explain, but the thicker the pot, the more gravity, and the quicker the water drains out. Thinner or shallower, and it doesn't seem to drain out so well. And then we got just a couple of black pots like that. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. So thanks, Dave. Good to meet you and Vicky. So yeah, thanks very much. Really appreciate it. So I'll clear out this and then I'll get to the tree. Let's do it. G'day. Welcome back. Well, I did forget 2 pots, so he gave me this square one. Pretty nonchalant sort of a pot, but still a handy pot. And then there was also this little one inside that one. Pretty cool little pot, little round one. And that one's actually got a thing on the bottom, MA. So a stamp, who knows? Who knows, but pretty cool. Thanks very much, Dave. Once again, really appreciate it. Now, let's get to this tree, eh? Oh, spiked me. You got to watch out for these boxthorns, they can bite. Yeah, you can see the boxthorn. So, I think that's the back of the tree, I think. Yeah, I reckon. Right. Yeah, is that the front? Yeah, I assume that's the front. I forget. So this boxthorn here I've had for a number of years. I pulled it out with the ute. Probably remember I ripped a couple out. Maybe I dug a few. I still got more down the back paddock, but one boxthorn's enough. I sold another one. So let's get into this one. See if I can't get away without getting too many blood hands here, because we know, she can turn to blood pretty quick when working on a boxthorn. So what I'm going to do is come in here and just get rid of any wire. I need some fairly big side cutters here, because I put on some fairly thick wire when I did it, and it's been wired up for a good year now, maybe over a year, a little bit more than a year, and shit. And it's time. This spike here got me, the little bastard. And it's time to get this wire off. You know, you can start playing around with something like a boxthorn. I don't want to hear no whinging about it poking you, because, you know, you signed up for it. You sign up for working on one of these, you're signing up for getting a bit of blood. You might hear me, you know, go, ow, ow, but it's all my own fault. So we worked on it, it grew a bit, and then over last summer, it really did nothing. I don't know, I have a little bit of a thought on boxthorns as bonsai that, you know, even in the paddock outside, they're kind of like, they reign when conditions are a little bit easier. They rain. When conditions are easier and it rains is when they seem to come out in a leaf. So, I don't know, the paddock ones were dormant because it was too hot and dry. And then at the same time, I found this one on my bonsai benches, dropped all its leaves and went dormant too, even though it was getting watered. So, I don't know, maybe its big brothers were calling out and telling it it's time to have a sleep. I don't know. Don't know if there's something in that, or I was just not fertilising enough or whatever, because I didn't fertilise much last year. I'm not sure, but you know, we'll see what happens this year. Maybe over the next few years, if I really look after them, I can get a bit of a handle on, you know, their growth habits, what they like. I would love to get a boxthorn to start flowering, because these boxthorn have beautiful flowers, little white flowers, and they get beautiful berries, little red berries. But you know, so far I haven't had any on this one at all. But obviously the ones in the paddock, they get plenty of berries and flower, you know, crazy flowers. So something I'm doing's not quite right. Maybe they just don't like being in a pot. Some things just sulk in a pot. Keeping their conditions and their roots exactly perfect is pretty hard in a pot. I suppose we'll keep... I've lost my wire cutters, so I'm using these big bastards. But we'll persevere. I might buy another set next club meeting, maybe. Get another set of wire cutters, because yeah, these are a bit big. Problem is, you get these big things in there and then your hand's in the other spikes way over here, where you're not even looking. So obviously it's going to be very time consuming to do this. So yeah, my plan will be to keep this one as well. I just want to keep a good boxthorn. And at the show I'll get rid of a few. After I've cleared out a few of my trees, I'm going to set up an automatic watering system back on my trees. So at the moment it's relying on just me, and it's hard because I went to work all day, come home. This was wet when I left this morning. We had a 27, 28 degree day, and now it's quite dry. It's not completely dry. If I pull it out, there would be moisture in the bottom of the roots, but barely, and it's only a 27 degree day. So my plan will be to put everything I have left on automatic water, even though it's rainwater, which wastes water, I know, but I think we can afford just to do one run in the morning on an automatic system. So it'll get one run 10 AM before things start to dry out too much, and then I'll be home, you know, I'll be home to sort it out by, you know, 3, 4 PM before it gets too dry again, because once a day water is just not enough in summer here. You got to do 2 to 3 times a day. So I'll probably end up the morning water automatic, then I'll water it when I get home, and then I'll probably water it once more before the sun goes down, give it a bit more of a sprinkle, and I'll probably work like that for a while and just see how it goes. I think that should be enough, because previously it was all automatic, and you know, all automatic has its good and its downsides. Like, I'd say the biggest downside to having all automatic was probably the fact it allows me to have too many lazy periods in my bonsai. So because it's all automatic, I can just go and sit inside, get home, oh, it's too hot outside, can't be bothered. Or, you know, oh, I'm too lazy today, oh, I'd rather just sit down and drink a beer, you know. Have a wine, have a port, whatever. Whatever it is, and whatever the excuse was, the fact of the matter is, it was too easy to do that, you know, go and watch some YouTube, because the trees, you know they're going to be okay. Yes, they might not love life. You might not be fertilising them. Some might dry out in the corner because they missed out on a sprinkler. But in general, your trees are going to be okay on the full automatic system, even if you don't go outside. So I did find myself quite a few times last summer not coming out to see the trees, weed the trees, trim trees that needed trimming. And I find the less time you spend with them, the less you care about keeping up with stuff. So this year will be a good opportunity for me. So it's actually probably a bit of a blessing. Good opportunity for me to spend more time with my trees and get stuff done. And it'll motivate me to come outside, because I have to come outside. If I don't, they die. So it could be a good thing. And I definitely can't afford to water them all automatic watering all day, every day. Probably could, you know, get away with a holiday, but that'll be about it. Or if we have a massive rainstorm that fills up the tanks, you never know. So yeah, we're just coming in here, cutting all the wire. Extremely hard to get into. I've got to be careful. I already snapped a branch off in here because boxthorns are extremely brittle. And what I did is I was trying to get some of this really fat wire off, and I twisted the pliers, which snapped the branch that it was anchored to. So yeah, so make sure you come along to the October show for the Adelaide Bonsai Club. If you're in South Australia thinking about going, go. It's a great day. There's plenty of little delis and stuff nearby. You can take your kids or your missus out there, or your husband, or, you know, whether you're male, female, whatever. And, you know, make a day of it. Go and look around, do other things as well. Spend an hour or two in the bonsai expedition. It's only a gold coin donation. These days that's pretty damn cheap. And just go and have a look around, meet people. I'll be there as well. And yeah, you'll be surprised how good the quality of the trees are on the show, and how well it all comes together with all the volunteers of the club. It ends up looking pretty damn nice. So anyway, get on to that. It's probably about all the news I've got to tell you. So I think for now I'm going to sign out and just get rid of all this wire. It's pretty self-explanatory. Just clip it, cut it into bits, and pull it off in bits, throw it away, take it to recycling, whatever you want to do. You can try and unwind it. On some trees you can unwind, okay, but on this you'll just end up a bloody bloodbath. So I think it's easier for me to do this than to try and, you know, get in there and unwind it. Because even these little ones here, these little delicate ones, you try and unwind that and there's all these little spines everywhere. Yeah, and you probably break some branches. Okay, right. I'm going to sign out for a few minutes and I'll see you when the wire's off. Cheers. G'day guys. Welcome back. I just wanted to show you guys, I'm nearly finished all the wire. I just wanted to leave this one to show you how massive a wire you literally need if you use one aluminium wire, and two if you're trying to bend something that doesn't want to bend. So boxthorns are a little bit like the Japanese box and stuff, and my God, look at the size of that. I did find my rusty old snips outside in the weather, so that saved me a lot. But tell you, cutting off this really fat stuff, oh, I mean, You almost need bloody bolt cutters. You know, you threw that at someone, hit them in the eye, that would hurt. So just got a few more to go here. I haven't had any major spikes, but I have definitely been spiked, so the joys of a boxthorn. Next time I work on this tree, oh man, it's so hard to get in here without getting spiked. Next time I work on this tree, or in the future, I don't think I'll ever have too much problems like this again. The most problems here are getting in is because I wired out the whole structure of the tree with an Evan Marsh workshop, which was, you know, maybe a year and a half ago, well over a year ago anyway, and wired out the whole tree, and it's grown a couple of, you know, 2 or 3 times since then. But the wire didn't bite in, so I didn't bother getting rid of the wire. Plus, to be honest, even if it did bite in, I was too lazy. But it didn't bite in, it's actually pretty good. This wood doesn't seem to expand very fast. Seems to be pretty slow at expanding. So I wanted to make sure that it bit in a little bit in places, just to make sure that I don't have to rewire this bastard again, because I tell you what, you know, I don't have any real blood on me, but there's a lot of little cat scratches all over me. So I think we nearly got all the wire, nearly got that big rod off. So what we'll do now is probably spin it around to, I think the front is that side, to that side. And what we're going to do is we're just going to choose what we want to keep. So we want to keep some stuff out this side, and that can become part of the tree. I think it's a little bit too wide to keep all of it. Now, what I would have done if I wasn't doing it, oh, I don't know where you guys are. You can't see much of that, I don't know. Silly me. Silly Sam. Right. As you can see, one of Dave's pots coming in handy already as the wire catcher. So, what I was going to say is I've done things a little bit differently. Like, I'm planning on cutting this branch down to here to create a bit of division. If I wasn't wiring, if I wasn't showing you guys taking off all the wire, and I wanted to show you, but what am I trying to say? Because I wanted to show you guys me trimming it, when I took the wire off, I didn't cut stuff back. Normally, if a branch has got a bit of wire on, I'll chop that branch off with the wire. Saves me unwiring a heap of unnecessary stuff, but in this case I wanted to show you all the trimmings, so here we are. So yeah, so we're trimming it. Basically what we want to do is create some good branch divisions and structure and shape, and you know, for a boxthorns are very straight trees, and that's what's happened here. As far as all these secondary or primary and secondary branches have grown, they've all gone pretty straight, and that's why we put in such a solid wiring effort for the first styling it ever got, and now it's going to be just up to pruning. So you want to prune your shape and your structure in now to match the trunk. This trunk for a boxthorn is actually a really cool trunk. Boxthorns don't generally, they're not generally known for cool twisty styles. They're, you know, a heap of stumps coming off the base, all relatively the same size and quite straight. But I do have a few on my property that have a bit of interest, so you know, they can have a bit of interest. What I really would love is if it got berries one day. That'd be sick. Imagine the old you know, boxthorn in the show with berries all over it. Would look pretty cool, but not this year. I will say this new foliage, despite boxthorns being super prickly like just then, the foliage itself is so soft, this brand new foliage. I can see why the sheep braved the boxthorn to get some of this really soft foliage in here, because these leaves, I don't know, it's like a velvet cushion. If you can get past the barb and just feel these leaves, they are, man, you could make a pillow out of that. Absolutely beautiful. If you get your mouth in there and just and get past those barbs, mate. If you're a sheep, you'd be a happy sheep. You get stung by those barbs though, and you ain't going to be no happy sheep. Maybe a goat. Goat would get in there, I reckon. Goat's pretty mad. Anyway, amazing how soft the leaves are. Absolutely. These trees are, you know, a pest in Australia, let's be honest. They're a super pest. Everyone hates them. Some people scoff their nose at them when you say you got a bonsai boxthorn, because, I don't know, I guess it's such a pest. But you know what? They're absolutely everywhere. There'll probably never be any stopping them in Australia ever. Just get that out of your head. And also, they are actually a super important part to the native fauna. So, as in birds, they absolutely love the boxthorn. Lizards and things like that, they all hide in the boxthorn because it's great protection. Imagine hiding in the middle of that. Really good protection. Nothing's going to fly in. Big birds can't fly in and eat the little birds. Same with the little lizards. The big birds can't go flying in there and eat the lizard. So it's a refuge for a lot of things. And, you know, even though it's not a native, it's giving a lot of natives homes. And it's also a great food source in the middle of summer when everything else... Ow! Little bastard. It's also a great food source when maybe there's a bit scarce around the place, everything's dry, and these things are out in full berry. So, you know, you got to think of that too. And I'm happy to leave a few on my property. I've no plan on getting rid of them anytime soon. I might have a good couple hundred of them. Mostly they're pretty small, but some pretty damn big ones. And I'm just going to limit the amount of new ones that grow, as in probably kill the small little ones that grow, but leave a lot of the bushes that are already there and established. If you go and have a look at them in the paddock, there are, you know, bird nests in there for days. I absolutely love them. So we've just gone along and cut everything short back to where there's something interesting. Also, while I'm doing that, I'm keeping in mind the shape. You know, we've got a main canopy up here, a secondary one here. A few little ones down here will end up being little separate canopies on their own. I think that was the vision Evan Marsh had for it. Yeah, super nice guy. Had a couple of good workshops with him now. But yeah, I think the vision was to have quite a few like different trunks, basically separate trees, but all mingled into the same design. And yeah, this trunk, you know, is a boxthorn, but it's got hell character, a lot of character. Super for a boxthorn, that's a lot of character. The big one that I sold to Greg, that also had a lot of character, but you know, I passed it on, and he'll get to enjoy it, you know. So yeah, I'll probably just keep the one boxthorn, unless I see a really cool little mini one. I might end up doing like a little mini boxthorn. And really, I've got to try to work out how to get them to flower in a pot, because flowering and fruiting in a pot would be my ultimate goal with this one. You can see where a new shoot goes out really strong like this one. It's got the new spines on it. I'll show you. So I'm going to cut most of that off. I might even actually... No, that one's coming right off, so it doesn't matter. Okay. I'll just show you, when these grow, they grow super fast, but they have a good couple of dormant times during the year. Right, so here we go. We got the old one with a few thorns in the side here. And then you got these two brand new shoots. Now these are new thorns. Here, 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 all new thorns. And at the moment, quite soft. These ones here are starting to harden up. All of that's really soft. So you can notice a sheep or something could come in here and just love eating that. But they go down too far into here. Good luck to your lips, Mr. Sheepy boy. Right, let's just gonna, I've got to decide what to do here, whether I want anything here. Whether it takes away from the design. If I do a little branch out there, I've already got this back one here. Will it just cover in the back one and make that obsolete? Will it add to something? I don't know. Or will it just become too bushy? If I get rid of that, potentially your eye starts to, you know, I think that was the front. Potentially it adds to it as well, or potentially maybe your eye will follow this side. You don't want it really bushy on both sides, I don't think. I would probably have to choose to keep this side really short and then let that side get longer, because the whole thing's kind of flowing that way. I think what I'll do, I'll get rid of this dead one. We don't want two, so I'll get rid of this back one. And I think I'll shorten, let's try that first. If I shorten it to there, I've got to wire that bit to give it a bit of shape. I think what I'll do is I'm just going to cut it back and let it divide. Then I don't have to get the wire out and we're all set to keep growing. So we just keep cruising around the tree. There's a few spots where I've missed a couple of branches here and there. Just left them a bit long. In general, we're pretty close to being done here. There's a big solid spike here. Look at that, jeez. Straight through your old thong, straight into your big toe, and you'll be jumping for joy. Gotta love it, gotta love it. Rightio, so maybe cut this spike off here. Go around, spin the tree a bit. Okay, there's I found a really big one in here. Let's get rid of that bugger. Look at this one. Let's take that one off. Chop it back to here somewhere. Maybe a little one here. Right, we'll give it a little spin. You can start to see the different foliage and almost pads starting to form in a way. Just see if there's anything really ugly that, you know. See, that could be a front too. I'm not sure which was meant to be the front, to be honest. I think the front could be there, but angled in when it gets repotted. Something like that. I actually think I was meant to repot it and put it on an angle like that. Or potentially something like that. I'm not sure. I forget. It was a long time ago. And my brain is demented. Right. Where are we at now? Just proved my point, didn't I? Okay. Oh, here's this what I was going to do. I was going to come back to the camera. This is a great tip. This is Sam's great tip. Come back to the camera. Look at it. See if anything's really eye-poking. Okay, for starters, I'm starting to think this is definitely the back. I don't like that low right one just jutting out at you, kind of weird and straight there. I feel like that could be a good back one. Let's turn it there. What do we see on that side? The side all looks pretty good, except I can see, you know, for some reason when you go and look on a camera, stuff just shines out at you. Can see a couple of straight sections there that I didn't like. And another one here. Yes, it opens it up a bit more, but when it grows back, at least it'll have more character to it. Character is the name of the game. All right, what do we got? Yeah, I think everything else is good enough. So you can see this is pretty dry. We've had a warmish day and, you know, hasn't been watered today yet. I'll water it tonight, but, well, as soon as I'm finished the video. All right, let's put it up. Let's put it up on a pot. You know, that could be potentially what we'd be looking at. It's not bad, but yeah, I mean, it's all different trees. It's messy. I like messy. Something's got to happen. I feel like something's got to happen between these two to get them to, you know, talk to each other a little bit. At the moment, they're, you know, not overly concerned with having a chat. So what we might do is just spin it back to where the front actually is. Put a couple things under the back to lift it up. Alright, we lifted it a bit. That'll do for now. Yeah, I mean, that kind of maybe looks better as the front actually. And then this one here at the back, the straight section of that little short one at the back kind of gets hidden. And it also looks like it puts it on a different height to, looks like it puts it on a different height to this one. It's a little bit shorter now down there looking. Before when I had it flipped around, they looked very similar. So I think we're good to go there for a while. One thing that will help fix that trunk, see this beautiful shoot in the perfect location right here. So that beautiful shoot, if that shoots out there, it'll help take your eye off this straight section. It will even help bow it out and create not a straight section over time, but a long time. And yeah, we'll just see how we go with this tree. It's a bit of an experiment, bit of fun, working on something different, you know. This is, you know, a tree from my rebellion when I decided I'm not going to be like every other bonsai person. I'm going to do what I want and grow what I want. And well, this is it. So, you know, for better or worse, this is what we ended up with. There was a branch somewhere I was going to bloody cut off. You think I can see it now? Ah, it doesn't matter. We'll see it later. Ah, here. Got it. Got it. Yeah, that straight section there was a bit of an eye-jarring straight section, you know. Rightio, got our wire pot. I'm going to have to sweep this floor when I'm finished so I don't step on any boxthorn, because that'll be fun. Straight through the thong and into the big toe. We don't want to do that. Okay. Well, gee, it's been a long one again. Sorry, guys. All right, I'll give you a quick spin from there. I will go and get the wheel out. This is my stainless steel wheel from Adrian Eggleton, the same guy that made my Aussie bonsai bloke laser cutout. He made one for Nigel Saunders as well. All right, let's just give it a spin. I'll change the planting angle. Maybe when it stops growing good, you know, when it slows down for summer, I might repot it into a bigger pot. Hey, look at that. I found the old wire here. That's what he marked as the front. A bit of wire bent to go like that. So where you're looking at it there, that's actually the front. I'm going to look at that in the camera, hang on. Yeah, actually that does look like the best front. That man knows what he's doing. Evan Marsh. Look, there's where he marked it. Evan Marsh. Did I call him Ryan Marsh? No, I think I called him Evan Marsh. I get the two confused. Right. Well, that's the front. And I actually do like that more. Oh, good pick, Evan. All right, we'll keep spinning it. Spinning Evan's tree. His bonsai. He loved working on this, you know, getting poked. It was his favourite tree to work on that day. He absolutely loved it. Lucky I didn't kneel on one on my knee. No worries, guys. Cheers for watching Aussie Bonsai Bloke. Enjoy your day. Tell your mates about the channel. And get out, look at your trees, work on them, fertilise them, give them some love. No worries. Cheers. And thanks again. Thanks for your time. Really, really appreciate it. And thanks again, Dave, for the pots. Love it. Cheers.